Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Studios. We are coming to you from ET Retail's Great India Retail Summit 2024. I'm your host, Devina Lason. Now here on ET Studios, we bring you an engaging and insightful interview series with exclusive conversations with India's top leaders and hospitality experts. Today, we are here to talk about the entrepreneurial journey and lessons learned in the F&B business. So without any further ado, it is with great pleasure that I'd like to warmly introduce my guest today who's going to talk all about this and a lot more. We have joining us Riyaaz Amlani, founder and MD, Impresario Entertainment and Hospitality. Riyaaz, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Devina. Thank you for having me.
So, Riyaaz, we're here at the GIRS. First of all, any impressions you have of this summit and what do you think the significance of holding such conferences is for the hospitality industry?
Well, it's a really, really great initiative by the Economic Times retail team. It gives all retailers an opportunity to catch up with each other.
Yes.
There's so much to learn. There's so much pollination, cross-pollination that can happen of ideas. We get to, collectively drown our sorrows and we have the same issues and it's nice to know, which way the market is going. And there's so much to learn from each other.
Absolutely.
So it's a great opportunity for the industry to interact and actually come together.
Yes.
And these opportunities allow us to actually discuss the environment and try and collectively do something about it.
Yes.
So it's very important. So
Yes.
Great work.
Wonderful. So on that note, can you share with us a little bit about the story behind Impresario? I know you've come a very long way. You have multiple brands under your belt. So can you take us a little bit through the journey and any major milestones that you hit along the way?
Well, it's been 22 years since we launched our first little coffee shop called Mocha. That
Yes.
was in December 2001. And time has just flown by. It's been really interesting. We've been really, really blessed. When we started off, we had absolutely no idea or intention to become a hospitality company or operate multiple restaurants. I thought I would grow old extolling the virtues of coffee to every customer that walked in. But I think when we started off, Mocha was this very unique concept. What we were offering, we had, it was about coffee and conversation. And it was very unique because there were no two pieces of furniture that were the same.
Yes, I remember.
And that was not an idea. We actually ran out of money before we could buy furniture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to steal from our own homes. And I remember borrowing a watchman's stool for a day, saying, I need one more seat. Can I borrow your stool? And what I thought would be laughable turned out to become one of our greatest strengths.
Wonderful.
I think we do our best work when we're really, really frugal.
Yeah.
And Jugaad is actually a big part of our culture. So I think that it took off. There were very few places at that point of time, the third place concept or the coffee shop,
Yes.
where one can go and hang out at any time of the day.
Yeah.
At that point of time was non-existent.
Right.
There were only restaurants where you could go for lunch and dinner, or five-star coffee shops where you could go, in the evening. Or then there were these idli dosa places,
Yes.
which made sure you left the place within 15 minutes.
Yes.
So there are not too many places for coffee or conversation. So I thought we were at the right place at the right time, and it just took off from there.
Wow, wonderful. That's a great thing to visit down memory lane, actually. I've been there many times myself. Riyaaz, as an entrepreneur in the F&B space, surely, like you've just shared a little bit about the Mocha story, but you must have faced many hurdles along the way. Competition, of course, is extreme, ever increasing. So how do you, with your entrepreneurial hat on, really approach challenges? And are there any specific ones that you can share with us?
Well, the hospitality industry or the business is not something that you can do on the side. I think it's something that demands all your attention.
Yes.
And it demands every sinew that you have. Obviously, when a lot of people, in fact, everybody I meet has at some point of time entertained the thought of getting into the restaurant business.
Sure.
I think it comes from the fact of this sense of well-being, or this kind of mini vacation that you get in the middle of your day, where you feel life is good. everything's all right.
Hmm.
And I think that's what a good restaurant experience is about. Um, but it's a little bit like a duck, swimming on water. It looks calm on the outside, but there's a lot of frantic activity that's taking place behind the scenes. Um, I guess there have been many challenges. Of course, it's a business which is very trendy. It has a very high mortality rate.
Yes.
There's so many brands which are fashionable along the way, and then they kind of fade away as new brands come in and new concepts come in and new ideas come in. People are looking for variety and novelty. In fact, I don't think there's any other business on this planet which offers you this much choice.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you want to fly, maybe there are 5 airlines domestically. If you want to buy clothes, maybe there are 200 stores that you can go to. But with a restaurant, right from your pav bhaji stall, your pakoda guy, your chai ka tapri, to your fancy fine dining establishments, you're competing with everybody for those for that meal that a person can have.
Yes.
So it is a business which is notorious for its high mortality rate. So that is a challenge. Sometimes I wonder how I've survived so long. Maybe somebody's watching out for us.
Definitely.
It also is a very highly regulated business.
Yep.
There are a litany of licenses that one has to get, including 2 police NOCs to prove you are of good moral fiber to be able to sell a sandwich.
Okay.
Yes. It takes 36 licenses to run a restaurant. I think it takes 5 to set up an arms and ammunition ordnance factory. Yeah.
Oh, fascinating.
Yes. So but I think, over the years, we've been lobbying and talking to the government quite a bit. Things are getting a little easier, but there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yes, yes.
We did face a few existential crises along the way. There was a hookah ban, and Mocha had its hookahs and that kind of. We needed to pivot very quickly because just one fine day, people just stopped coming to our restaurant. We had COVID, right? Which was the mother of all disasters, especially for the hospitality industry. Because we are a high contact business. It's not it's not that we could pivot to an online business anytime soon. But as the old cliche goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and more resilient. And we've learned a lot along the way. We've learned how to be nimble, to be flexible. We learned to recognize that trends change, food preferences change. People want variety. So it's not only going to be, just because something is working today is not going to work forever. You got to be able to kind of rebuild the airplane while you're flying it. And I think I think restaurateurs are resilient creatures, and I think there's a lot of passion behind it, and that's what keeps them going one step at a time.
Definitely. Wow. Thank you for that context and that perspective. Of course, you mentioned COVID. So how exactly in your company did you navigate it? And what were some of the biggest lessons you learned coming out?
Well, it was a crazy, crazy time. Yeah, in hindsight, what a thing to have lived through. When Prime Minister Modi first came on, I think the lockdown was for 3 days.
Yes, that's
and
right.
we didn't perhaps really know the full gravity of what was coming. And then I think 1 month into COVID, things were just getting worse. And I think that's when the full impact of it really hit home, that, there's nobody coming to save you. I had at that point of time 3,000 people working with us. Business was indefinitely closed. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. And very soon we were out of money. So 2 months into the thing, I had to call all my people and say, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I can pay the salaries. I can either fire 50% of you, or I can pay all of you 50% salaries.
Okay.
That's what I can do. And you tell me, what would you like to do? And
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of the staff that carried us through.
Wonderful.
And when we saw the determination and fight in them, I think we started we went all out on deliveries. We started creating do-it-yourself home kits because everybody became a chef.
Yes.
We were selling people cocktail mixers at home, so you could make your own cocktails. We were sharing recipes. We engaged the boys who were bringing food from the kitchen to your table were now bringing food from the kitchen to your home directly.
Yes.
We engaged with the dabbawalas of Mumbai. We got them to start delivering. And I think it was at that point of time, the aggregators started ramping up their fees, and we needed to combat that. So we used a lot of innovative ideas. We started relying a lot more on technology.
Yes.
And then I think 9 months later, when we were able to resurface, I think we came back with a sense of a great belief in our business, because if COVID couldn't kill us, nothing would, right? In a sense.
Absolutely.
And we learned how to adapt. And I think a lot of times people were saying during COVID that, this business is over, offline businesses, even retail. And nobody is going to go to shops to buy clothes anymore. People are going to order online. People are going to sit at home, watch Netflix, and nobody's going to go to restaurants. They're going to order in. I think that we've just come back stronger, and people are going out more often than ever before. And it goes to show you that dining out is a very essential human need, and it has only grown from strength to strength.
Absolutely.
And it's going to continue growing for a very long time to come.
Fantastic, Riyaaz. So as we slowly come to a close, what would you say is your personal future outlook on the F&B industry here in India, and any major trends that you would say we should keep abreast of?
Well, I think this, by all accounts, I think everybody agrees that this is India's decade.
Yes.
We've seen the Indian population is a very young one. 64% of India is in the working population.
Yes.
Median age is 28. 1 out of 4 people in the working population in the world is from India.
Yeah.
So, and if you think about working population, I also think about them as going out and dining population, right? Because people who are in the working population enjoy going out. They have double income households. It's becoming harder and harder. Dining out is also like a labor arbitrage.
Yeah.
Countries like Singapore, they have 65 meals originating out of home a month. Yeah. And urban India is averaging at 9.
Wow.
So we are seeing a lot of headroom for growth.
Yes.
If you see the difference between India and China right now is 10x. So there are 300 Starbucks here, there are 3,000 Starbucks there.
Is it?
700 McDonald's here, 7,000 McDonald's there. So there's literally a 10x market.
Yeah.
And we are going to get there. The big trends that we are very bullish on is the casual dining segment.
Yes.
The casual dining segment is right now at about 100,000 crores, the market size. It's about 5x the size of QSRs.
Wow.
And it is deeply fragmented. There's a great opportunity for us to consolidate the casual dining space. And we intend to be, or we're hoping to be a platform to consolidate other casual dining businesses and to give it best practices. And we're hoping to be listing very soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Riyaaz, thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge and expertise, and truly all the best for your future endeavors. Sounds like a very promising time.
Thank you so much, Devina.
Well, on that note, that's all we have for you on this episode of ET Studios, but do stay tuned for many more exciting conversations where we give you the exclusive opportunity to gain valuable insights from the most influential retail leaders who are driving innovation and advancements in their industries. Until next time, many thanks for watching.